they clearly are not welcome back ever.
So yeah, they're banned pretty much.
Banned.
Banned.
Yeah, not coming back. I can't do that. So.
What's up, everyone, and we are back with another episode of The Raw Lens with your host, Lionheart. It's the show that reveals what goes on behind the scenes of entrepreneurs and their day-to-day life. Joining us today is a successful custom auto care professional, Troy Pitt from Luxury Star Lighting, a Long Island-based custom lighting and accessory shop that specializes in stars, ambient lights, and much more. He is here today to give us an insight into his perspective of what we don't see behind the scenes of what goes on in a busy custom auto shop. Troy, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, man.
My pleasure having you.
I'm super excited. I don't know about you.
I'm definitely excited.
It's different being on this side because I'm always the one doing the camera work. So
yeah, of course.
I'm excited to.
You're also into this field as well.
Yeah, it's like I'm a kid in a candy store right now.
So how did you start in this business? Give me the whole story.
So basically, I used to sell cars. I was always into cars, but I was a big salesman, used cars, and I always like to just modify them and like nothing like to the extent now. I used to just do stuff on my off time. So long story short, I had just sold myself a BMW 550, and I just wanted to do something that I haven't really seen in a car. Who doesn't love stars? You know what I mean? I was Googling, I saw a picture of a Rolls Royce and it has stars. I'm like, there has to be somebody that can do this. Like, we mod our cars, we change the wheels, we add lighting, all this type of stuff. Like, why isn't this a thing? I called every shop. I was on Google, Instagram, everything like that. And literally I couldn't find anybody that could do this. And I called one person or one shop. I don't remember who it was at this point, but they said, yeah, we could try to do it. And I'm like, try. Like, one, I just bought this car. And then number two, the dude wanted to charge me like $3,000 to try. So I'm a big believer in like, I'll try it myself. You know what I mean? If anybody's gonna mess up, it's gonna be me. So literally that's what I did. I ripped my headliner out. I was like, worst case scenario, like I just have to refabricate my headliner and put it back, whatever. Thankfully it worked. And the big thing for me was I was told the sunroof was impossible. I'm the guy, I don't like to be told no, and that's why I don't like to tell the customers no.
You're a go-getter, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, why? I'm always thinking why. So he was like, oh, it's because of the way it moves back and forth and it's impossible. So I was like, all right, thank you for your time, cool. So that was my main objective of just like, kind of like a screw you, I want to do this, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna figure it out. I mean, the first one I did, like it looked a mess. Now that I know what I know now, like the headliner just looked crazy on the back end. Like I'm a stickler for that now. It worked, you know what I mean? So, and then I kind of realized like, whoa, like I did that. I did my best friend's car, did another friend's car. And like, I was like, there's no way that we're the only people that thinks this is cool. So I actually used to work with a guy when I was selling cars. His name is BM Coding on Instagram. He was there and I was like, yo, check out what I did to my car. And literally he was like amazed. He was like, oh, and you did it in the sunroof. He's like, does it open? I'm like, yeah, open it up. So literally I have to give him credit. He put a story post up. He had like a couple thousand followers at the time. Now he's way bigger. After he posted that, I had no name. I had no clientele. I told him I was about to start this business, but I was not ready. Like it was about to come. So pretty much he posted that and literally within seconds, his phone starts going off and he's looking and he's like, what the heck is going on? And literally people are like, where is he? I need this. And I was like, oh shoot, like I guess I'm starting now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So he kind of put you on the spot just to start it. Yeah.
Legit. Like the rest of the day, I didn't sell any cars. Like I was focused on a name and like he gave me good advice too. He was like, don't try to be a Nike, one of those names that you have to like know what it is for Google it. He's like, make it simple. So literally that night I went home, created Luxury Star Lighting. I'm like, as simple as to the point. And I had dreams of expanding and I was like, I know I wanted to have luxury features and like everyday car. Like I don't care what you have. So like, and we kind of stuck with that. So that's like kind of our thing.
Especially since you did my car.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this guy is a perfectionist. He won't take no for an answer. If he seems impossible, he will get it done. I'm just so glad with his work and I'm always going to keep going to him.
I appreciate that.
You did say the first car you ever customized was a Beamer, correct?
Yes. My car.
Of course, your car. So how was that experience like for you letting go of that car?
I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason. The crazy story was I had the car. The business started right after I modified it. The only mod I ever did to it was the stars. And then when the business started, I didn't have a shop. You know what I mean? I was still selling cars at the time. I couldn't go, and I was mobile, so I couldn't go put headliners in a 5 Series BMW. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
So my girlfriend, now wife at the time, she had a Jeep. So we traded cars. So the whole like life of that car, she drove it and I drove her Jeep, and I would just go do runs and work out of the Jeep. And then as soon as I signed the lease to my shop, I think 2 or 3 weeks before that, my car got totaled.
Oh, so man.
I bought the car, it gave me a business, and it just like left me. So like it's kind of crazy. It was sad when it left, but at the same time, it left me something that's even bigger that I'm continuing to grow.
Right now, you have what, an M8 BMW?
M850, yeah.
M850, yeah. I mean,
badass.
That's one badass car, especially at night. I just seen it. Wow, that's
when it comes alive, man.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I was never really a big fan of Beamers, but until I saw your car, it changed my perspective.
You know what it is? There's certain cars with certain things. I'm still in that era of like, I want to drive my car. Like, I'm not a Mercedes guy. Like, those are cool dudes. Like, I want to drive my car. I like the stiffness. Some people don't like that. Obviously, I love lighting, and BMW's not the best with lighting. Like, Mercedes, I got that. Like, Audi's coming up. BMW, we're kind of getting there. But like, I'm like, whatever. I do that myself. So like, I'll make it cool in my own way, and that's like my thing.
So what is the one tedious thing, what upgrade that you did on your car that was just a pain in the ass for you to do and you couldn't be able to fix it?
My active kidney grill. So I know a lot of people in the industry that if I don't know something, I'm not a mechanic. I make it look pretty. I don't fix it. I don't make it go fast. I make it look good. So one of the things that I love that I'm able to do to so many other people's cars is I have the air vents on my car. So the air vents, I have grill lighting, and I want that to be able to be seen all the time. For some reason, I was told by many people in the 8 series, they use different software. So if I do a kidney, like the active grill delete, it throws a check engine light, which means during the wintertime, I can't auto start my car, and like, it's just annoying. So like, I've tried it 3 times. I literally bought the brand new part from BMW, did it. I was like, maybe I did it wrong, and I can do it on like 2024, 2025. So no check engine light, no problem. My car, I can't do it. And I just like, I gave up. I don't care.
Didn't you also say one time, you told me a story that you had a problem with one of your shifters?
Yeah, that was another nightmare. I mean, my car is so tedious and the most sentimental BMW I've ever worked on. And I think it knows because I'm its owner and just wants to give me hell. So that was an ongoing problem for probably about a year. I thought I fixed it. It came back. I think we got it good for now. So like, shout out to Alex. He made it work.
Shout out to Alex.
Yeah, definitely.
So besides your car, what is the most challenging project that you had to work on?
I think I'm going to say the first time I touched a Lamborghini Urus. And I think it's because at the time I don't even want to say I was new. I just never touched that car. I've touched Audis, and if you know Audi, Lambo, same thing. It was just
the branding of the car, Lambo.
Brand. It was, and I was mobile. So mind you, I went to this guy's house, and he was like something in the medical field. He saw one of my Instagram posts, and he was like, "Troy, I trust you. Like, I want stars. You're the guy." So I'm like, "Cool." You know what I mean? Like, I was confident, or else I wouldn't do it. But at the same time, I've never done it, and that's what a lot of projects. It took me way longer than it should have, just because I was being super careful, and they did like a lot of like stupid little things. So like in the A pillar, they would put screws that you have to take out after the windshield is put in from the factory. So like little things like that, and I'm like, okay, I don't know all the workarounds, but like at this point we've done so many, it's like, okay, cool. But at that time, like, that was nerve-wracking. And the thing was, like, I'm cool, I like to be close with my customers. He asked me, he's like, Troy, do you mind if I like stand there and watch?
I got my eye on you.
So I had this dude.
That was
So I have this dude just fascinated. Mind you, it's like 13 degrees outside.
Oh, cold.
It was horrible. We're on some like hills, the wind is blowing, and he's just standing there in awe watching me struggle. So that was just, I think it was just a combination of everything where I was just like, whoa, like, what did I get myself into? But
I mean,
we got it done.
Since he was watching, that kind of made you more nervous. And
yeah, definitely, because I mean, I know even with customers, like some of my boys, like they'll drop off their car. Troy, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it look like that. It makes me nervous. Cool, no problem. On top of that, the day before, he asked me like, oh, Troy, how do you get power? So I'm explaining it to him. He's like, okay, no problem, sounds good. He's like, he had to get a battery. It came from like Italy or somewhere, wherever the battery comes from. And he's like, yeah, just the battery for the car is costing me $5,000. So I just wanted to make sure it's not going to affect that. And I'm like, a car battery is costing you $5,000. You know what I mean? So I'm like, and I'm about to rip this whole headliner and all this electrical apart. Like, I'm freaking out. I couldn't sleep that night. It was crazy.
That's why Lambos are very rare, because they're hard to work on.
Oh yeah, they make them hard.
Since you're a customization shop, what's your favorite part of the car to work on?
In the weirdest way possible. Depends on the day of the week and how I'm feeling. A lot of times, like, I like to help out where I'm needed. So for me, and I know it's not like this for a lot of people, I love doing stars. For me, I zone out, and it's just like, once the hard, annoying part is done, you're just sitting there, and it's just like kind of therapeutic. And like, I have my own little rhythm. All of the feeder, we call them feeders, because you're feeding the stars into the headliner. Whatever.
Yeah.
So we all have our own little methods, but for me, I kind of just sit there, and I like it because I'm always getting pulled in a million directions. If anybody knows knows me. I suck with my phone. If you call me, you're probably going to call back tomorrow or whatever, because I'm always moving around, and like I don't like to be tied to my phone. For me, like stars, I kind of get to sit down one spot and just feed, not worry about anything, and just get it done. So
how many star projects have you gotten in one day?
That depends. So we definitely don't like to hold a car any longer than we have to. That's a big pet peeve of mine, because a lot of customers, they've either canceled with me or whatever because a shop told them it would take X amount of time and it took way longer. So we definitely schedule based on the work that's coming in. So I think the most we've done in one day, like start to finish, I would probably say 3.5.
3.5 in one day?
Yeah, but that's like, you know, not like a Escalade truck or something like that. It's like a moderate car, maybe no sunroof, no shooting stars, and I kind of gauge it like that. Because some of these cars, I mean, we've done it so many times that we can get a headliner out in like 8 minutes on some cars. You know what I mean? And like,
stars in 8 minutes?
No, out the car. The headliner out there. I wish, bro.
No, because I've seen you do star headlines. They take a while, probably a couple of hours.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it depends on what the customer's doing, but like just getting them out, and like we do have an assembly line. We have 3 people pretty much just dedicated to stars, to where you take it out, you put them in, you put it back in.
So
like,
everybody has their own job. Yeah,
something's always happening. So I kind of like it like that. And if we have cars that are smaller, or Q60 or something like that, like you can do that in like no time. So
speaking of customers, you ever had any bad moments with customers where, like, for example, if like you provided a service for them and they tried to lowball you, or like they kind of did some kind of fraud? Did you ever had any customers like that?
I think everybody has, who's an entrepreneur. It's part of the game, and I think it's just important for you to know certain red flags, because sometimes the nicest ones, and it's sad because like I like to be close to the customer. I like to come in, say hello, even if I'm like busy. I like to at least, hey, what's up, and like talk to them. Unfortunately, the customers that have gotten over on me, because it does happen, it's always the guys that I liked, and I'm like, why you? You know what I mean? Like, I let you into the shop, like you had your dog here, and like, but they have to play that role. So like you get smart over time. But yeah, we had one in particular. This dude, he was sketchy, but I didn't know it because I wasn't the one dealing with him so much. But to make a long story short, he tells us that he has a fleet, you know, and that's not abnormal. He has a fleet of Escalades. Okay. And he does luxury, chauffeur, whatever. So he brings us one Escalade and he says, oh, I'm just a driver. So I'm like, all right. He's like, yeah, my boss, whatever. He's going to be the one paying. Once again, not abnormal. So he comes in, we do that first Escalade, pays for it, nothing happens. And then he comes back in, I got 2 more for you. And then all of a sudden, that's when the payment, there was a problem. It's not going through. And then the story is, oh, my boss is on a flight. I'm not really the guy. Like, I shouldn't be dealing with this, like, blah, 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 blah. And being that we had a relationship with him, I'm like, okay, like, kind of sucks, but like, I can't release the car until we get payment. Like, I don't know what to tell you. We wind up figuring out the whole credit card thing, because I used him before. He was able to, you know what I mean, authorize it. Everything went through, license match, the card and everything like that. So basically we did 3 Escalades in total. Long story short, I get a call from like North Korea, and like a week later, not even a week later, and somebody's like, oh, I found you because your name's coming up on my credit cards or something. Like, it was like confusing. And he's like, I have a charge for this amount, blah, 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 blah. And literally we went back, we reviewed everything. It was like some master scammer or something like that. I don't know. Wow. Everything matched the license, and like the problem with that was he did everything so good with business. Once there's a fraud thing, it comes right out of your account. They don't care, and then you're fighting for your money.
So it was a con, pretty much.
Yeah, it was a huge scheme, and then I lost out on 3 Escalade jobs. He's out there. He gave me a fake license. He gave me a fake this, and like I couldn't do anything to try to track him. We do things differently now, so where that's never happening again.
Yeah, so, it just sucks that you provide top-notch quality service, and you have people like that just taking advantage. It's just a shame.
And another one that I like the dude. The dude was cool. We was in there chopping it up.
So what's the most unique and unconventional request that you have gotten from a client?
That's a really good question. I mean, we get a lot of weird ones, and I don't know if it's the smartest thing in business, but at the same time, I like reputation. I like people knowing who you're coming to. I've gotten a lot of jobs to where people ask for, like, one thing that kind of went viral was like the fender liner stars and stuff like that. Like, every person that's asked me for them, I said no. I was like, not doing it.
A fender liner? Oh,
yeah, like, and trucks, like you have a truck, and the fender, like the wheel well.
Oh, yeah, no, that doesn't make sense. It's like,
I don't like it. Like, and if I don't like it and I don't live by it, I'm not gonna do it for the money. I want to sleep at night, and like, if you see that car on the road, you're not like, oh, that's stupid. Who did it? Look, you saw it. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be like, no, that looks sick.
That's kind of weird.
So there's things like that. Everybody loves, oh, can you put stars on my pillars, the 8 pillars and stuff? Like, in a story post or a video, some of those things look good, but at the same time, like, you may not realize if something is flashing in your face while you're driving, it's kind of annoying. And it's like,
it's a distraction,
safety hazard. So I'm like,
safety hazard.
I've never done that, and I let people know if that's what you want, like, we're not the shop for you. Like, I'm sorry. And like I said, business wise, that may be stupid, but at the same time, like, I don't really go into work every day and just do it for the money. Like, I have to like it. I'm sorry.
Did you ever get a request of putting stars in your hood?
Not hood, but headlights.
Headlights.
Yeah.
Stars in the headlights.
And I'm not gonna lie, I've seen it, and it kind of looked dope. I forgot what car it was, but it looks sick. For me, headlights are one of those finicky things to where if you don't properly seal them, it's an expensive
water
repair.
damage and stuff like that, condensation. Yeah, I've been there. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm scared of those. We're not there yet. Stick to what we know.
What's the biggest misconception people have about custom car work?
That it's easy. You know what it is? And I get it. A lot of these products, ambient lighting is a big culprit. You see these companies trying to sell the kits, and they show somebody taking a little like pry tool and just putting it in there, and like, that's not reality.
It's not easy doing what I do, is it?
I mean, it's reality for some people doing it, but like, if you want it done the right way, take the dang door panel off. Take the dash apart. You know what I mean? Fit it in where it's supposed to. Yeah. A lot of those people that just slip it in and it looks cool on Instagram, you open and close that door, it's gonna fall out on your lap. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, and you have these people that try it, and listen, I was that guy. My start, first time could have been horrible. Thankfully, it worked out. I commend anybody trying to learn, because that's how you grow. But I think that's the biggest misconception, is that, it's easy. We could just, no. And another thing is, one small mistake in a car, especially with like all the electricals in these new cars.
Electric, forget about it. Yeah.
You can fry some stuff really easily.
Fuses and everything. Believe me, I tried to do some of my own custom car work. It failed miserably. That's why I came to you in the first place.
This is why, like, I don't touch radios and stuff. Like, I know what I'm good at. I know what we can do, and I'm not afraid of saying we're not the people for that. You know what I mean? I don't want to reach too far and then, oh shoot, I shouldn't have done that. Now we have a problem.
So for the audience, can you please explain what services you provide?
Yeah, so obviously Starlight headliners, a lot of ambient lighting. We do tinting, Apple CarPlay systems, vinyl wrap, PPF. Shout out Empire State Customs. They work with us. They're huge into the PPF and detailing, and that's like huge in the business right now, because everything's about protection. And that's one of my favorite services too, because you can change a whole car's life just by changing the color.
And you also do custom body parts, right? Like, let's say a guy has a spoiler or anything like that, or a wheel. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we change all that out. A lot of times with aftermarket parts, fitment isn't the best. So sometimes you're heating, you're remolding, you're adding, you're switching stuff around. So, and I'm very honest with the customer too. Sometimes we'll get so deep into a project to where we're like, this is not gonna happen, or like, it don't fit. You know what I mean? And like, we did all that, and we have to just put it back on. And your shop kind of reminds me of that NFS Underground 2 game.
Yeah.
Oh man, that brings back memories. Every time I go to your shop, man, I'm like, yo, I could live here, just customize the fuck out of cars.
I get lost in it. I really do. And that's why, like, for me, I love what I do. Every build's different. That's like, for me, I used to work for UPS, and like, you're driving, doing the same thing every day. I can't do that.
Yeah,
like,
you got to be creative.
I like to work on my hands, and for me, it's just the customer reactions. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Have you ever filmed any customer reactions?
Yes, but for me, I'm nervous about asking. You know what I mean? Like, my client today, like, we did a celebrity client, and like, I was nervous to, like, I don't want to step on your toes. I don't want to make you feel like, oh, like, please, can I get a picture? Yeah, I love it, because I really wish that if the customers and our clientele can see how happy it makes people, it would maybe not convince them, but just show them what type of energy we have at the shop. I'm big on energy. Every time you come there, we're playing music. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a vibe, and that's what I love.
So why don't you, like, before you start customizing anybody's car, if you could ask them, like, if we could film your reaction after, maybe you can get some feedback from that.
I thought about it. I just haven't done it yet. Yeah. And you know what? I think it would work more times than not, because my batting average, I feel, is pretty good. But like, I kind of fill out the customer, and some people, you'll think like, oh yeah, like, I can ask them, and they're like, no, I'm camera shy. You know
I mean? So depends on the customer, I guess. Yeah, depends on the customer.
I don't want to put nobody on the spot.
I got you. It's all good. So tell us one of the most craziest stories you ever had in your shop. I know recently you did post on Instagram stories where there was a couple in your bathroom did something really, really inappropriate while they were getting their car customized. So please, can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've heard of like the Mile High Club and things like that. I never knew that we was on people's bucket lists, apparently. So one thing you have to realize is that we have cameras all around the shop, and a nutcase like me, I'm always like working and looking up. I want to know who's coming in, who's going out, and what's going on. So yeah, we had a customer that pulled up by himself, and maybe an hour in, he was gonna be there all day with us. Maybe an hour in, young lady pulls up, and you could just tell like body language, like just looking up at the cameras. Oh, there's somebody else here, but it was different. And then next time I look up, I see both go into the bathroom and close the door. Okay, now mind you, my first initial thought was I don't know anybody's medical history, anything like that. You don't know what's going on, so I don't want to assume. So I literally gave them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm like, you know what? I don't know. Let's see how long this takes. So I gave him a few minutes, like maybe he needed help, she needed help. I don't know. Maybe I'm naive, but like I don't want to just assume and be an idiot. So they come out like 5 minutes later. So I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe I'm right. I'm looking up, and they're kind of in the waiting room, just very intimate, very intimate. And I'm like, like something ain't right. So I look back up, and they're both in there again. So now I'm pissed. So now I'm like, all right, I know what you're doing. Like I'm not an idiot. So I go in there, and it was 10 minutes, by the way. So I'm just literally like trying to calm myself down because I'm like, one, this is my home, this is my area. Like I feel disrespected. So I go, I knock on the door, and the guy's like, hello, like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, like, hello. And then like he's like, oh, well, coming out, whatever. So then like I wait till they come out, I leave. And then as soon as they come out the bathroom, I go and I tell him like, listen, I'm not an idiot. Like we have cameras all around here. And the whole time he's like, my bad, bro. Like he didn't like say he did it. He didn't say he didn't. But when I'm telling you, I know what you're doing. That's disrespectful. Like don't do that here. And you keep saying my bad, bro. Like I posted a little snippet on Instagram just to let people know like we're not idiots. You know what I mean? And like. They clearly are not welcome.
So they're banned pretty much.
Banned. Yeah, not coming back. I can't do that. So. And then I had to go in there and clean it, and like I don't know what happened.
Man, did you put on a mask?
Bro, I was in there like the freaking hazmat people, bro. It's crazy because I'm not a germaphobe, but I also. Ew. You know what I mean? Like,
you should put a sign in the door that says no fucking.
Yeah, bro. I'm like, y'all just disrespect. And like the dude, like I give it to him. He was a young kid. He had a beautiful like $150,000 car. Like I get it, bro. You're doing it. Just don't do it here.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like do it in your own time.
Life.
Do it in your car. Just don't do it at the shop.
Go somewhere else, bro. I wasn't with that. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time for truth or shot round. The truth or shot questions are, if the interviewer refuses to answer the question that is very personal, he has to press the button and take a shot. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I ain't taking no shots. I'm answering everything.
Let's do this.
Hopefully.
If you had to choose between your wife or your car, who would you choose?
God dang it. Yo, this is not a fair game, first of all.
Truth or shot? Truth or shot?
You set me up for failure? My wife or the car?
Truth or shot, man. You're poison.
Listen, man. Cars come and go. My wife, it took me 7.5, 8 years to marry, so she's forever. So I'm choosing a wife.
Wow.
No shot.
Oh, okay.
No shot.
Wow, that's impressive.
That was an easy one. I was just playing.
No, majority of men would say they'll choose their car, but okay, well said.
I want to live tomorrow, man. After she sees this. That's crazy.
So what's the biggest mistake you've made on a customization job, and how did you fix it?
Not being thorough. I've had customers come in, and especially on the bigger jobs, they'll do stars, ambient, body kit, all this type of stuff, and like I've messed up and like not put shooting stars in like a car before, and like I'm doing I'm so excited for them, and the only thing they care about, well, where's the shooting star? And then I look at their ticket and it's written there, and like, you done messed up, Aaron. I mean, unfortunately, that's like a big mistake, because now we have to redrop everything, and sometimes have to like adjust a lot just to make that happen, and you just fix it. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, hey, like either we could do it now, you come back, and then I usually wind up taking some money off just for their time, you know what I mean? Because now you might have to make another trip, and like I feel like an idiot, you know what I mean? But sometimes I'm just moving too fast and my head's all over the place.
So have you ever worked on a customer's car that you secretly hated but couldn't tell him? Please identify the customer and why, and which car he has.
Identify the car. I'm taking a shot.
All right. I told you. I told you you'll take a shot, bro.
Dang, man.
All right. What are we having?
What do you got?
Tequila, vodka, cognac, whiskey.
I don't even know how I'm gonna say this, but I'm gonna go with the tequila. And I'm not a tequila shot guy, but
okay,
we're gonna try some of that.
Kevin Hart's Coramino, not sponsored.
Okay, I've never had this before.
That's pretty good.
Hopefully I don't make that bad of a face.
Bro, this is one full shot right
that's
here.
My shot.
That's your shot.
That's crazy. I thought, you better make that even. We could take like a baby sip, or we taking the whole thing?
Whole thing, bro.
Oh my God. All right, cheers.
Cheers, bro.
Shout out to that customer. Bro, you just sipping on it? You was tasting it. Yeah, I was just trying to get it down because I didn't want to think about it. But
have you ever had to say no to a project when you thought it was possible, but you just couldn't handle it?
A couple times, yeah.
Which car did you say no to?
Sometimes I get a little ambitious, and that's when Alex kind of hits me in the back of the head, and he's like, "Yo, like I don't know about this one." I think soft top convertibles. I haven't been able to like figure that out yet.
Soft top convertibles?
Yeah, with Star. I get the question, and you know what it is? I don't get enough of the question for me to like put that much energy into it. Like not that many people have soft tops. We did hard top convertibles with Stars. It works great. Soft tops are different, and every car is different. So I definitely I've tried it, and I just had to give the car back and be like, sorry, like I don't know.
Have you ever drank and drive?
Ooh.
Where you were so intoxicated?
Ooh. I want to be honest with the people, man. I have, and I got in some trouble. I have back in 2017. I went to a birthday party out in Brooklyn, and I had some drinks, and I used to always think like, yo, if you drink, stop early, sober up, and then drive. You know what I mean? I was young, whatever. That's not okay. So basically, I did that. And then I didn't feel intoxicated. I felt like literally zero effects of the alcohol, but I was driving from Brooklyn out to like Suffolk County, Long Island, and I was so tired. I had worked 12 hours at the dealership. I went out to go party, whatever, and I was just tired, but I did drink. And guess what happened? One of those long blinks on the road, a cop thankfully saw me, pulled me over, smelled alcohol, and
you got busted?
Well, stop there. Yeah, and I wasn't even drunk, which is messed up. And you know what? I thank God that I wasn't drunk because it could have been way worse. But like, I was just tired, and it's just the fact that I was drinking. They tried to pull every car in the book, and like that was kind of my wake up call. Like, bro, Uber. You know what I mean? Like the amount of money I spent to like clear all that up, and I wasn't drunk was ridiculous. I don't care if the Uber's $150. I'm taking that Uber if I'm drinking, or I'm just not driving. It's not happening again. So,
have you ever broken something in a customer's car? But you didn't end up telling the customer, but ended up trying to fix it, but it just ended up being broken.
What were we were taking tequila shots? Because
shoot the shot, bro.
I plead the fifth. I'm gonna take a shot.
What?
I'm gonna take a baby shot for that one.
Looks like you're taking the Uber home, bro.
I work in car modifications, man. Like things happen sometimes.
I get it, yeah.
But we're not gonna go into specifics.
Okay. Everybody on the show takes minimum 2 shots. I always get them somehow.
Ugh.
So we'll take half shots to not drink and drive.
That's not even a half, bro.
Yeah, this is a half.
What is ice in there? All right, so.
Yeah, listen, this is a half.
Cool.
Yeah. Drink responsibly, don't drink and drive. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
And that's a wrap for this week's episode of The Raw Lens, ladies and gentlemen. Please make sure to follow Luxury Star Lighting on Instagram and on YouTube. Link in the description below. Troy, thank you so much for coming onto the show tonight and explaining what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, man.
It was very informative, very entertaining. Thank you so much for everything that you do. Thank you for your perfectionism. Thank you for working on my car. Can't wait to do more projects with you. Stay tuned for more episodes next week, and we'll see you soon.